Let me start the recording. Yeah, otherwise I'll forget recording. All right. So another technique, right? I mean, somebody was asking me. Actually, they sent messages also, and the question was, it's actually very common question among all of the people who are working and all that stuff, right? So in the day-to-day life, how can you remember Vaiguruji all the time? That's a very common kind of a question, right? So obviously, we want to try to do Saskara Simran, but obviously, when people are all around, right, they'll think the guy is crazy. But we don't have to worry. But still, people think that okay, especially in the office environment and all that stuff, and you're in the meetings, you can't do loud Simran. And when you do Antargat Simran, sometimes you lose focus and you get sleepy and all that stuff. So somebody was like asking me both of these questions. If I do Antargat Simran all the time, I feel sleepy because there are less thoughts. What to do? So there is a third technique. It's little bit needs a practice, but this technique can really help. It's a very easy technique, and that technique is basically, remember, in Gurbani it says the first guru is a Pavan guru, right? Pavan guru, Pani Pita, Mata Tarat Mahat. Pavan is the air, the breath which we take. That is our first guru, right? Why it is regarded as first guru? Because if there is no Pavan, if there is no air going top to bottom, if there is no breath, we don't have a life, right? So the life starts with the Pavan. So that's why it is regarded as a first guru, Pavan Guru, right? So this guy was asking, he said, oh, he tried a lot of methods and all that stuff. And he had a questions about the Pavan Guru. And, all our thoughts, basically, when there is air flowing, when there is a breath going on up and down, we have thoughts. The moment we stop the breath, there is no thoughts. You can try, right? That's why the yogis, that's what they use to control their breath all the time. But that's it. That's what they used to do, and they used to control even the pranayam. The all are linked with the breath. All their asanas and all their exercises, they are all linked with the breath. But there is a very natural thing which is happening to all of us, right? And that is that the breathe, when we are breathing, the air is going inside, and normally when we are talking, it is going through the nose, right? Air is going inside and it is coming also outside, right? It's a kind of an involuntary. We are not doing anything. We are not doing it's just happening, right? So it's going in, it's going out. So the another technique, especially for people who are working or attending meetings, right? What to do then? At that point of time, you can focus here, out here, next to your nostrils, and naturally, the natural breathing which is happening. Why Vaiguruji? Which Vaiguruji is giving us this breathe naturally. When it is going in and out, just concentrate, just focus on that. Not concentrate, just focus on that. When it is going inside in your head, you can say why. And when it is coming out, you can say Guru. You don't have to do no, whatever is happening naturally. Okay. And even if you don't do why, Guru, still if you will keep a focus out here when the breath is going natural breathe. Again, you don't have to do it on your own. No pranayam. We are not teaching any yoga stuff here, right? Anything which is going inside and it outside, just concentrate. You will be in present. What will happen? It will bring your mind in present. You will not be in the past. You will not be in the future. Actually, if you will try this, your performance in the work will also be better because you will be in present. You will not be worried about future. You will not be worried about the past. So it's a very good technique. So naturally, when it is going in, say why in the head, Guru, when it comes out. And then it's an exercise. You have to try to do it, and it's not going to happen spontaneously like from tomorrow. You have to remind yourself that you have to do this, right? And slowly, once you'll start reminding yourself, it will become part of you. When it will become part of you, just like Harpreet is saying, it will bring a lot of change in you. The anger, problems, the anxiety problems, the stress problems will go. So the natural breath, which is going in from the nose and which is coming out, you don't have to do voluntary action, not this, the natural stuff. Let me actually give you guys all 15 seconds or 20 seconds. Let's be silent and let's try to do this. Natural breath, which is coming from the nose, going in and coming out. Just focus there, just for 15 seconds. Close your eyes and try it. Focus here. When it goes in, say why. When it comes out, say Guru. In your mind. Why Guru, you have to say in your head. All right. Is it working? Like Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Is it working?
Yeah.
So that will bring you in present. So that's
But
the
why, Guru? It will make you sleep.
huh?
It will make you sleep.
If you close your eyes.
Close
While
your eyes.
working, you don't have to close your eyes. That's the beauty.
Yeah. So it's a very fast way to go to sun.
Yeah, it's a very fast way. Yeah, because actually we'll come in the advanced topics later. But your left side is called Ida, right side is called Pingla. So what you're doing is actually it starts balancing out, and it starts going through the Sukhmana. That's the third place. The left is Ida, right is Pingla. Left is cool, right is hot, right? And the third, when you start balancing this out, it automatically starts balancing it out, and it will start going through Sukhmana. And Sukhmana is where the 10th gate, the Dasam Dwar, is the area to go to the fourth stage, where there is only love, there is no pain, nothing, right? So that's what is happening, and you can quickly go to Samadhi or a sleep at that point of time. So left side is also called moon, and right side is also called the sun. It's all in Gurbani. We
But
will
how are
talk
you
about.
balancing?
Sorry.
How are you balancing it just by concentrating on the breath?
When you focus it, it will automatically start balancing it, and you have to do why when it goes in, Guru when it comes out. Starts balancing.
But
Okay.
still the mind wanders, so again we have to bring back the attention, right?
If you will put your mind here, it will not wander. That's the thing. That means you're moving your mind somewhere else. Can focus on here when the breathe in, breathe out, right? And it will not. And that's the same, almost the similar technique when we do loud Simran also, Bakri Bani. Why? We pause it, right? We stop the breathe, Guru, it comes out. That's why there is a pause. Why? Let's do why Guru, simple Bakri Bani. And pause. When you take the pause, just stop your breathe and Guru, it comes out, right? Okay, let's start it. Why Guru, 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 Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Yeah, and another thing, when even in the middle of the Simran, you feel like the mind has started wandering, stop it and close your, like, take a take a deep breath from your nose, hold it, and then release. When you will do that, your mind will again reset, and then again you can start do the simran. And that's how you can keep on increasing the time of your simran, and you will be in a steady state without the thoughts, right? So
Yeah, because sometimes I'm doing, and after 2 minutes, I realize, okay, my mind is wandering. Again, I have to bring
yeah,
back that day.
yeah. Stop it there, take a deep breath, and then release it, and then again start it. And
And
slowly you will keep on increasing the time.
Vaigu, one question.
Mm.
Sometimes when you do this, sometimes you intake your breath, and sometimes it stays over there, and it's very hard to breathe back. Like it sometimes there is a state like it stays over there. How to come? Like I'm having some. I will talk to you later on that part.
Sure, sure, sure. We can talk privately also. That's not a problem. All right. So let's start with the third body, the first slok. Slok mahalla pehla, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਵਨ ਵਹੈ ਸਦ ਵਾਓ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲੈ ਲਖ ਦਰਿਆਓ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਗਨ ਕੱਢੈ ਵੇਗਾਰ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੱਬੀ ਪਾਰ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਦ ਫਿਰੈ ਸਿਰ ਪਾਰ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਾਜਾ ਧਰਮ ਦੁਆਰ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੂਰਜ ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੰਦ, ਕੋ ਕਰੋੜੀ ਚਲਤ ਨਾ ਅੰਤ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਧ ਬੁੱਧ ਸੁਰਨਾਥ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਡਾਣੇ ਆਕਾਸ਼, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋਧ ਮਹਾਬਲ ਸੂਰ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੈ ਜਾਵੈ ਪੂਰ, ਸਗਲਿਆਂ ਭਉ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸਿਰ ਲੇਖ, ਨਾਨਕ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਸੱਚ ਏਕ, ਸਗਲਿਆਂ ਭਉ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸਿਰ ਲੇਖ, ਨਾਨਕ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਸੱਚ ਏਕ. So here Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about the pa. Pa, literal meaning of pa is fear, right? Now, whenever we are talking about a fear, fear is of two types. One fear is fear for when you love someone and you don't want to, do anything, and that's why you have a fear. Another fear is that you have been threatened by someone, and it brings you a pain. Basically what I'm saying is here is one fear is which cleans your mind up, which cleans you, which brings love. One fear is which basically brings you the pain. So here the fear which and when, how it brings pain, so some let's say some person is there, he or she is threatening you, right? And you are just scared, you're just worried, and what will happen, the anxiety will be there, the stress will be there, and you'll just, your mind will be always in stress, and you'll be always worried about it. Especially sometimes it happens in the relationships a lot of times, right? You are worried that your husband or wife is gonna get upset, or he or she is upset from outside and taking all the upsetness to you, right? So it happens in all the families, right? That fear actually sometimes brings you pain. Whereas there is a fear, for example, when somebody says, hey, if I will, in the morning, if I'm doing a Simran 1 or 2 hours of meditation, my day will be very good because I will have less stress level. I will be more happy. So in that fear that, oh, if I will not do the Simran, my day is not gonna go good. So that is a good fear because it is cleaning your mind up. So here the or the fear which is talking about Guru Nanak Dev Ji is that fear. The fear which actually brings love in you, brings, it cleans you up. And basically you can always think about that fear as in the must do things. For example, when we wake up, we always try to do our morning course. We take a bath, we do morning course and all that stuff. Yeah, and that is also regarded as a law or the routine which you have created under the law, under the hukam, you can say, right? So that is also the path. Here, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying not only humans or animals or or birds or insects, everybody or everything in this whole universe is in the hukam of Vaiguruji, is in the order of Vaiguruji, is in the fear of Vaiguruji. It is going as per his instructions. They are following his instructions. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਵਨ ਵਹੈ ਸਦਵਾਓ. Even the pavan, the air, which is outside and inside us, right? It is also flowing as per his hukum. Just imagine if that breath which we are taking, the pavan which we just mentioned, which we are taking, if that is not coming in somebody, or somebody has that problem, the person will die, or will I have to take him to the hospital and put the oxygen or something, right? So that pavan, and that pavan is also responsible for the outside weather. And if there is no oxygen outside, we can't even breathe, right? So everything is in the hukam, in the instruction of Vaheguru. So nothing is happening on its own. It's in under the law, under the hukam, under the fear of Vaheguru. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ pavan ਵਹੈ sadvav. It is moving. It is basically breezing. The wind is going on in the order of Vaheguru ji. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲੈ ਲੱਖ ਦਰਿਆਓ. Lakh means 1 lakh. 10 lakh is 1 million. If somebody not from the Indian background, it's a different measuring scale. uh, 10 lakh is 1 million. So you can say your 100,000 is called lakh. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲੈ ਲੱਖ ਦਰਿਆਓ. Dariao is the rivers. So there are 100,000 rivers, just a saying, right? The 100,000, thousands of or lakhs of the, or you can say even in millions of rivers, which are also flowing the water under his instructions because of the bad weather. Under the fear of Vaheguru, they are moving, right? It's just a law. It's just how it is, right? Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਗਨ ਕੱਢੈ ਵੇਗਾਰ. Now, what is vigar? Vigar is something when something is coming up, something is coming out, right? When we see the volcano, right? And or when we see a volcano, there is like the strains of fire coming out of the volcano. That is vigar. Pੈ which agan kade. Agan is fire. Agan literally means a fire. So basically, the fire is also coming out and giving us all the heat. Now we are talking about the global warming and all, right? I mean, yesterday, I think my wife, she was coming from the Tracy area, and she saw a few of the like a few of the trees. She even clicked the picture. I'll probably share the picture with you guys. There were some trees which were burning, and she said she opened her car window and to take a picture, and she could feel the heat, right? So you can't see the heat, you can see the fire, but the property of fire is the heat. So Mare says that is also happening under the fire giving the heat, is also happening under his law, under his fear. For the lack of better words, I am saying his. You can call it her also. You can address Vaiguruji on your own. I know some Gurmukhs who says who address Vaiguruji as Mata, as a mother, not as a father. So it's up to you. It's all your love. Vaiguruji is Nirankar. Vaiguruji doesn't have a form. It's formless, right? So you can always, if you want to have a personal relationship and you want to address Vaiguruji as a mother also, you can do that. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਗਨ ਕੱਢੈ ਵੇਗਾਰ. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੱਬੀ ਭਾਰ. Tarti is the earth. Dabbi as in pushed. So par as in the weight. So what is happening is that even the earth is taking care of all our weights. Although scientifically, if we think about it, if we are pushed by the gravity, right? But still there is a weight on the earth of all our weights. It is pressed, it is being pressed, and it is still taking care of all the weights. It doesn't matter if the population is increasing every day, right? We are creating new buildings and all that stuff, but it is still holding us. The earth is holding us. How the whole earth, the earth is holding us? It is in the law, in the order of the Vaheguru. Or gravity is also the law, right? It's in the under the law of Vaheguru. Under the fear. The word used here is fear. Pੈ which in the Fire, Sirpar. Now, the Ind Devta, the Indra Devta is also regarded, it's a mystic god. It is also regarded as associated with the rain in Hinduism. So, but when here we are reading, here Guru Sahib has put anchored under the Ind. What does it, the Ind here means is the rain god, or the rains, you can say, the clouds, you can say, right? So here also Guru Sahib is saying that even the clouds and the rains are coming under his order. Yes, there is a process of the weather where the water evaporates and the clouds are made, but everything is happening in that law, that okay, when there will be a water, there will be a sun, with the heat there will be evaporation, and then the clouds will be formed. But everything, nobody thinks about it, how it is happening. Everybody is thinking, okay, this is the process. But who is holding this process? Who has created this, that law? How come with the evaporation ice is not formed? How come the clouds are being formed, right? So why this is happening? Because this law has been created by Vaiguruji. So everything is under his fear, under his law. Peh vich Raja Taramaduar. You remember we talked about the Taramraj, the Taramraj, who looks for our lekha when we leave this body. He basically look into our account, what good deeds, what bad deeds we did, and whether we have a naam di kamai, right? And based on our account, we are thrown into a particular June. If we have done the bad karmas, bad actions, then obviously we will go in the 8.4 million Junes. We will not get this human life. And if you want to, if you don't even want the human life, so we have to have that naam, the khajana, and we should always, our surti, our focus should always remain in the fourth state out of these nine gates. Then what will happen? Then what will happen? Then we will not come back in the human form also. But all that account is managed by Taramraj. He is also under the order of Vaheguru. Vaheguruji is not managing our account. It's just the assistants out there in the office, right? In any state government or in any country, right? Prime Minister, President, or the governor or chief minister is not doing everything. They have a staff. Now remember these things. I mean, I know there are a couple of new people in the call. When we are talking about these people, they are the subtle bodies. They are not physical bodies, and we can go more in details. Our body, physical body, is made out of five elements, primarily three: air, earth, and fire. Sorry, air, fire, and give me who will tell me? Sukhman, give me the five elements.
Fire, water, air.
uh, and louder. Okay, I think you have again sound issues from the last time.
Fire, water, air.
Yeah, fire, water, air, earth, and sky, right? Earth is, we also called as ether. These are the five, but the three are primary. Which are the three primary, Sukhman?
Fire, water,
Yeah, air, water, and fire. So if you will see in our body, there is like a 70 to 80% of a portion which is like just a water, right? So we have a lot of water, and all these physical elements which we have, they help. That's basically the our physical form. In the Gurbani, it even comes, if you think that you do everything, if you are not doing in the under the will of Vaheguru, then create the sixth element. There is no sixth element. That sixth element is there, which is also called Vaheguruji, right? That's the sixth one, and that's where we have to reach. So when we have to leave these five elements, our mind, there is a difference between a brain and the mind. Brain is physical, right? Now, it has grooves and it has neurons and whatnot, right? It has some chemicals and whatnot, but everything in the brain you can touch. Lot of times people confuse, because we think that this we are the physical body. We are not this physical body. We will we live in this body. This is the most important aspect whenever we are doing a vichar of Gurbani. Whenever we are discussing Gurbani, we have to remember that Gurbani is addressing to the mind. E man meria tu sada rohar nale, to the mind. And mind is not physical. Mind is subtle. I know a lot of people think that mind is brain and brain is mind, but then I always ask them why there are two words for it, right? If that is the same. Man is totally different. Mind is subtle. Mind is made up of our thoughts, right? And mind is, and this is a very important, I'm underlining it, please concentrate, focus on this line. Mind is also made of 5 subtle elements, those elements which we cannot touch. It has air, it has water, it has fire, it has earth, it has sky, but we cannot touch them. Example, practical example, when we are sleeping, right, our full physical body is shut down, but our mind is working. We see the dreams, and those dreams which we see, we still see the pictures out there. We still feel things out there. We hear things out there, right? And sometimes we remember. They say, oh, somebody said this thing to me in my dream, right? What are those dreams? Those dreams are the subtle activities you can't touch, but you still see those things. You still see physical things, but we can't touch them. That's why we need to understand that uh, the Maya comes in two forms: physical and subtle. Physical is anything you can touch, and that touch is through this physical body. And the subtle is which you cannot touch. What is that? That is our thoughts. And if you are new to these lectures, refer to the old lectures. We have discussed about the Tragun, the thoughts which we have: Rajogun thought, Tamogun thought, Sattogun thought, as in your anxiety, your fear, your lust, your greed, your anger, your gossiping, slandering, even compassion, or good things also. They are all your thoughts that regards to the subtle stuff. And those mind is made up of those thoughts. That's why in Gurbani it comes Eman Karma, Eman Tarma, Eman Panch Tat Ka Jarma. That this mind is also the light of Vaiguruji. The mind is also doing the actions. Sometimes we see certain things and we have thoughts. That is also regarded as an action in our mind. Maybe physically we didn't do it, but mentally we did it, right? So it is very important to understand in all these things. Vaiguruji willing, we will discuss more on that. But understand that whatever Gurbani is talking about, even the beings which Gurbani is talking about, the Taram Raj, they are all subtle. Our mind has to experience that. Our mind has to meet Vaiguru. Our mind has to experience the fear. Our mind has to fear the anxiety. Our mind is fearing the stress, not our physical body. What does that mean? Even if when we die, meaning when we leave this body, our mind will still suffer from these diseases, these fears, these anxieties. And the only way to basically settle down our mind, to remove all these thoughts, is by clinging to the Naam. And again, that is a big subject, and we'll talk about it. Yes, Singh. Sukhman, do you have a question or somebody else in Singh?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So can when the mind
Your voice is not clear, man, always. I don't know. Sarpreet Singh ji dhyan de utthe na sound last time also. That was a problem. Vaheguru,
Or can
speak
you,
up. Come close to the mic.
okay, so as I was
is it? Yeah, no.
saying, okay,
I can't hear you. Okay, we don't have so much time here, right? So you can type your question,
Yeah.
or you can discuss. We can discuss it later. Is that okay? हाँ जी
so
बोलो बोलो.
so what I was saying is
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
when the mind
I can't hear you. Okay, we don't have time, so let's do it later. Okay, Vaheguru, you can type it. Okay, sorry about that. If I can't hear you, I can't answer you, right? Um, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੂਰਜ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੰਦ, ਕੋ ਕਰੋੜੀ, chalat na ant. Similarly, even the sun, Suraj is sun, Chand is moon. They are also under the law, right? Suraj is there, the sun is there. It is giving us light in the morning. It is also giving us warmth. You can say UV rays, infrared rays, whatever is happening, it is made out of gases and all. Whatever is happening to it and whatever it is giving us, it is all under the law. Just imagine if there is no sun. I hear that the some places, like especially in the area of Alaska and all, you don't see a daytime in the day, and the life is miserable out there, right? You don't have enough fruits and vegetables, so it's very essential. um, you know uh, all these natural things, even the insects, the grasshoppers or the ants or anything which we see, right? What is that, the name of that bug which is on the flowers? Let's say honeybees also, or whatever, right? Pavrenu ki kande hai in English which anybody. So any it's okay. There are a lot of natural things which are there. Everything has a purpose. Don't be arrogant and think that only human being has a purpose. Everything which has been created, if you know about the cross pollination in the flowers and all, the bug will sit on the one flower and then go into the other flower, right? And then they will cross pollinate and all that stuff. This is how the nature is happening. That's how the flowers are there. That's how the fruits are there. That's how the vegetables are there. Everything has purpose, and all is happening in the own. They say that there is a sugar in everything, even in the wheat, even in the flowers, even in the, everything. There is some amount of sugar, and honeybee will go there and take that sugar out. How it is happening? How come honey can only be extracted by the bees? How come it cannot be extracted by the human beings directly? So that's why we should always be in shukr. The word is shukr, thanks. We should be always living in thanks to Vaiguruji. That whatever, not only the breath which you are giving us, even the fruits, vegetables, everything which we see around, the air we breathe, the sunlight. Thank you, Vaiguruji, for that. We should be always in thanks. And they are all living in the fear of Vaiguruji. Pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੂਰਜ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੰਦ, ਕੋ ਕਰੋੜੀ, chalat na ant. And they are moving. Everything is moving in the universe. They're not stable. It seems like to us it's stable. Earth is moving, sun is moving, the whole universe is continuously moving. And that's the reason there's only one thing, not a thing, for the lack of better words. Only Vaiguruji is static, stable. Everything else is moving. I saw Harpreet just moved his camera. Everything is moving. And our mind is also moving, right? So, because we are also in the same law, right? How a mind is moving, my mind is taking thoughts from left, from right, from top, from bottom. Always there are thoughts. So, mind is also moving. So, once we will settle down our mind, once our questions will go away, once we will learn everything from Gurbani, start thinking from the perspective of Gurbani, our mind will also stabilize. स्थिर कर सहज विच आ जाएगा. It will be in satisfaction. Mind will not be behind the desires. Mind will not behind the trishna, right? It will not be behind the lust, greed, anger, attachment. It will stabilize. It will accept. That's what it is happening. All the entities which we see around us, they have accepted us. The trees have accepted that they are the trees. The sun has accepted that it is a sun. Chandrama, the moon has accepted, and they are doing what they are supposed to do. Who is not doing its job? Human being. Especially, we don't understand what is the purpose of our life. And that's why our mind is keep on moving and moving and moving. Ko karodi, chalantanant, and our mind has sitting here, we can travel for thousands and maybe even millions of miles while sitting here. How? Close your eyes, go to India. You will. Your mind will go to India. Start thinking about India. Close your eyes, go to Europe, wherever you have gone, right? Your mind will go. So I see two hand raises. Go ahead. Who has the question? Sorry.
So, should we consider our mind as an enemy?
Mind. We are mind. We are mind. How can we be enemies of ourselves? We have to control ourselves, isn't it?
No, no.
So
Actually,
who is controlling
we are
our
the
mind?
Jod Sarup, right? We are the
No, no,
Jod
no.
Sarup.
You're absolutely right. There is no second thing, but there is a param. There is a doubt. Mind is a Jyotsrup. Mind is light of Vaheguru, but mind doesn't know that it is a light of Vaheguru. That's why it is moving all the time, right?
Okay.
If that's why this the how mind is, the Gurbani says, Eman karma, Eman tarma, Eman panch tat ka janma. What is karma? Karma is the actions. Mind is always busy in action, but mind is tarma also. Mind is also Vaheguru, the Jyot of Vaheguru. But only it will become a Jyot once, only it will become a light of Vaheguru once it recognizes itself. The whole idea is that we recognize ourselves. मन
Oh, I
तू
was thinking it is a
मन तू
two
ज्योत स्वरूप
separate.
है, अपना मूल पहचान.
Okay, okay.
Recognize yourself
Hmm.
once, because if we have not recognized, right, in Gurbani it says that Man was sent as a Raja, as a king, to rule, right? But Man is being ruled by the five thieves,
Hmm.
right? What mind is ruled by the five thieves? What are those five thieves? Lust, greed, anger, attachment, arrogance, and they keep on changing their forms. They
Hmm.
keep on changing their forms, and the thoughts are given by these five thieves. And who is the governor of these five thieves? Kal.
Kal. Hmm.
Kal is the governor, and that governor's duty is to give us the thoughts, different kinds of thoughts, all the time, different. And that whatever thought we get, we go behind that thought. Or if sometimes we get angry with the kids, let's say, then we realize, man, no, we should not be. That means, and you get a realization, maybe in after 1 hour, maybe after one day, maybe after 2 days, maybe after 1 year. Sometimes I have met some guys, and the one guy told me, he said that he was a bully in the school. He said he didn't realize that at that time, but now he's realizing that he was bully. You know, I mean, in India, when the school, when the recess was there, he was used to check all the bags, and he used to open all their boxes and eat their food. And then the kids come back and they open here their tiffin box, there was no food left. He didn't realize then, right? He was just bullying them, right? He was like, no, 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 no. And he used to love food, and maybe, you know what I mean? So it is, mind is moving all the time. Mind is not stable. Mind don't realizes that what it is exactly. But whatever the thoughts are given to mind by the five thieves, mind is doing that, right? Any other question, Harpreet?
Yeah, got
Is
it,
it
got
clear?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once we will recognize, right, up we that's the whole idea, that we need to recognize that we are not this body, we live in this body, and we are part of Vaheguru. And that's what the Atma is. Atma and Jivatma. Jivatma is the mind, and Atma, the soul or Satguru, is part of Vaheguru Ji already. And once we recognize, our mind will merge in that Atma, and finally our Atma is already a part of Paramatma or Parmeshwar or Prabhu Vaheguru. So that's what we need to understand, right? Once the understanding will be there in us, we will see Vaheguru, we will see the Jyot. And this is the process. When we do the Simran, first what we do, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. What are we doing? We are listening. The idea is gaviye, suniye, man rakhiye, pao, not pao. With the love, we are chanting and we are listening. So right now, when we are doing the Simran, our mind is taking the support of Guru Mantar, Vaheguru. Once our mind, will start taking the support of Guru Mantar, then what will happen? We will hear the Anhad Shabad, the sound which comes from Vaheguru. There are two things which are coming from Vaheguru: the sound, his voice, you can say, and the air, the breathe. He is giving us air also and the naam also. With the air and with the breathe, there are thoughts. With the naam, there are no thoughts. So basically, what happens is when we do Guru Mantar, we leave the support of the air and we get connected with the naam. Right? There are two things in parallel. When we get connected with the naam, and when we get connected with the naam, we reach to the fourth state or to the dasam dwar or to the 10th gate. Right? For the people who are new, 9 gates or 9 doors are 2 eyes, two ears, 2 nostrils, 6, and 7 is your mouth, and 2 down below, 9. And the 10th one is hidden. It's not physical. It's hidden out there, right? And we have to reach there. That's where the Vaiguruji is. To reach there, you have to take a support of Naam. Naam comes in two form. One is the form in the words Vai Guru. It is also called Guru Mantar. Once we will keep on chanting this Naam, Vaheguru, then we will connect with the Naam, which is a sound of Vaheguru, which is a light of Vaheguru. So first, most of the times you reach there, first you hear the sound. And then when you hear that sound, you keep on hearing that sound will take you to the fourth state where there is a light. It's all Jyot, right? First, you may see the Jyot of your Atma, and then you will see the Jyot of Vaheguru directly. So that is the process. That is how our final aim is to meet that Jyot, to see that Jyot all the time, to see that light of Vaheguru all the time. And when I see light, don't create thoughts in your head that it is white in color, it is red in color, or it is green in color. No. When Vaiguruji is formless, that light is also formless. It is a prakash, it is a light, but that light is also formless. It is not white light. It is not a red light. It is not a green light. It is not a blue light. Okay. When you will experience it, we will talk about it. But that's our purpose, right? And that will only happen when our mind will stop wandering. It will stop traveling. Ko krodi chalatnant. It keeps on traveling, right? Everything is keep on traveling, moving. But when it becomes stable, when it will stop traveling, when it will become static, because Vaiguruji is also stable and the mind also has to be stable to see Vaiguruji.
But
Another
we,
example, keep on giving you examples so that it goes in our head. Another example is the pond, water pond. Water pond, if you will see the water pond, and in a sunny day, on a sunny day, you will see the reflection of sun in the water pond, right? ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਰਛਾਵਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, ਪਰਛਾਵਾਂ ਵੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾ ਸੂਰਜ ਦਾ, the reflection of sun will be there. But if there are a lot of waves in that pond, you will not be able to see that sun properly. You might see some light, may have an idea that there is a sun, but you will not be. The moment that pond is stable, there are no waves, you can see the reflection of sun in the pond. That is very similar stuff with your mind. Mind, when it has a lot of thoughts that think about those waves in the pond. Okay. So they are churning, and you can't see anything. The moment there are no thoughts, you will see the reflection of Vaiguruji in your mind. And that's what it means. Man tu Jyot Swaroop hai, apna mool pachan. And you are actually part of Vaiguru. Then you will recognize that you are not what you think. You are not lust. You are not greed. You are not anger. You are not attachment. You are not ego. Biggest problem. We all have an ego, right? And Maharaj says, Kiv sachiara huiye, kiv kude tutte pal, hukam razai chalna, nanak likhya na. How to break this wall of ego? The only way to break this wall of ego is by chanting Vaheguru and having a one thought, removing all those thoughts. And then you will stop judging people. Yeah, you will not say, oh, this person is like this, that person is like that. That judgment stuff will go away. You will treat everybody as Vaheguruji because they have Vaheguruji inside them. Even the small insect has a Vaheguruji in them, right? My sorry for continuing on this, but my daughter asked me a very good question this morning. She said, we had a fruit flies, fruit bugs, and we were like trying to avoid them and all that stuff, right? She said, why we are doing that? Everything has a Vaheguruji in them. So why we are doing that, right? Good question, right? There is a survival of the fittest, right? We are not trying to harm. We are defending ourselves. That is how the Sikhism is so practical. Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave us the kirpan. That kirpan is not to go outside and start killing people. you know no, that kirpan is for the defense, for kirpa, for to help others, right? You don't use the kirpan for nothing, right? I mean, you don't just say that, oh, I got into a fight with someone and I have to take out the kirpan. No, that's not the purpose of the kirpan, right? You have to be defensive. Somebody is attacking you, somebody is attacking somebody, and there is no peaceful means left. Mind my language, there's no peaceful means left. So yeah, right. So when the mouse comes in your house, or sorry, the rats problem and all that stuff, the mice problem in your house, you capture them and you throw them out, right? But there are also other things where you kill them. So it depends how you want to deal with the situation, right? The more Simran you will do, the more compassionate you will become. You will not feel like harming anything, but you still have to do your defense, right? So make sure that we are practical, right, in the life, what we have to do. So for example, if there are you are a farmer, and there are a lot of bugs in your field, and they are going to destroy the field. So you have to use some kind of a maybe organic insecticide or something. Give me a second, guys. So you have to be you have to be practical in that. You have to make sure what you are doing makes sense, right? Otherwise they will destroy your field. There will be nothing left. Okay, ko karodi chalat na ant, pੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਧ ਬੁੱਧ ਸੁਰਨਾਥ, ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਡਾਣੇ ਆਕਾਸ਼. Even the siddhas are or were the people who used to live in the mountains and do the meditation all the time. They think that they are doing it, right? But they still had a fear of Vaheguru because they wanted to meet Vaheguru. Similarly, Buddha, lot of Buddhas, right? I mean, the Gautam Buddha was the first one, but there are a lot of Buddhas out there. Surnath, there are Surs. Again, there are some demigods in the Hindus, mysticism, and Naths. There are a lot of Naths. So everybody is in his pa under his hukum, right? Pa which adane akash, everything in the akash is literally the sky, right? Everything in the sky, the stretched out, if you will see, the sky is like stretched out all over adane, stretched out all over. Everything in the sky, what is happening is also in the pa, is in the fear. Pa which jod mahabal sur, all the warriors and all the Sus, right? They are all in the path. They are also the heroes, and the warriors are also under the fear of God, are also under the hukam of God. People think that they are doing things on their own, but they are not. Everything is happening because it has to happen. So the acceptance has to be there in the Gurmukhs. When you meditate, accept it that this thing is going to happen because it was meant to happen. We can't change it, right? That doesn't mean that if you are a doctor, you don't try to save your patients. You do. You try your level best, but whatever you can try, right? Now, for example, whether you believe in this or not, but just take it as an example. Right now, all the medical science is saying, because of the COVID season and all that stuff, you should get a flu shots. Why? Because this is a flu season, and if somebody catches flu, it will be very difficult to differentiate between COVID and flu. Now you go for a flu shot, right? You get it done, but doesn't mean that you are not gonna get a COVID or you're not gonna get other complications. But you do things because you're supposed to do, right? But whatever the results are, you accept it also. The acceptance should be there, right? ਪੈ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵੈ ਜਾਵੈ ਪੂਰ. Again, we come and go. What does that mean? Ave jave pur. Basically, what is happening is because of our actions, we come and go, right? And because of this, sometimes we feel like that, hey, this is the law. We did those karmas. We did those actions. In the ASA Ki Vaar, it will come. And we have discussed in the past also, in the previous bodies also. The law is such out there. The truth prevails there. We cannot change anything. It's not like a third world country where you can bribe someone and do something else, right? You can't bribe Vaiguru. There have been stories when the jumps came. There was a very rich guy and he was sleeping, and and the time of his death came. The jums came, right? Jums are sent by Jamraj, right? He will send those. You can call it in English, lack of better words, you can call them angel of death or angels or whatever. He sent them, right, to pick him up, and they said to that rich man, hey, your time has come, get up, you have to go now, you have to leave your body here, you have to go. And he started asking questions. He was like, hey, can you give me like a few days? I have to take a money from someone. He said, what are you talking about? He said, oh, if you will give me a few days, I will pay you this much. He started trying to bribe the jumps. It's not going to happen out there, folks. That's why we have to live in the pana. Pana as in the acceptance, in the hukam, in the pa, in the fear of Vaiguru all the time. We can't change things. We can certainly help. We can do our due diligence, but that's it. Some people take again, there is another story. There are a lot of stories today. Maybe today's lecture is a story lecture. There's another story. This guy is like a very innocent guy. He's going through his village, and in his village he sees that there is one saint. He's giving a lecture and there is a congregation, hundreds of people are sitting out there. He goes there and sits there and start listening to those lectures. And in that lecture, the saint is saying everybody has God in them. You should treat everybody same. You should love everybody. All these lectures. He just hear this part, and he feels so relaxed and good. He goes out. He goes out, and on the road, he sees that there is one bull, and people have surrounded that bull with some ropes so that nobody can go in. And then it looks like that bull is mad, right? Bull is like breaking things up and all that stuff. And he's asking everybody, what is happening here? Why there are so many people? Why we have captured this bull under these ropes? And he said that bull has gone mad. He's like killing people, or basically beating up and destroying everything around there. He said, you know what, let me go inside and talk with the bull. And because he recently heard the lecture from the saint that everybody has Vaiguruji in them, there is a love, everybody around him, they kind of stop him. They say, no, 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 don't go there. He's gonna beat you up, and he might even kill you. He's gonna break your bones and all that stuff. He said, no, 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 everybody has God in them. I'm gonna do it. Doesn't matter, animal or a human being. Everything has a God in them. And like he goes inside, and bulls beats him up. His all the bones are broken from top to bottom, and he's in the hospital for 6 months. He's very angry in those 6 months. After 6 months has passed, he goes back to this saint. He says, What kind of a lecture you gave? See, for 6 months I was in a hospital. He said, what did I tell you? He said, you told us that, oh, you need to love everybody. Everybody has God in them. He said, yes. He said, what happened? Tell me. He said that he tells a story that there was a bull. People were there, and I went there to, calm down that bull. And he said, okay, so you went there because bull has God in him, right? And he said, yes. He said, but tell me one thing. Did anybody stop you going in there? He said, yeah. A lot of people were stopping me, but you told me that everybody has God in them. He said that, but the people who were stopping you, they didn't have God in them, right? So that's why what Saint was telling him, that the people who were stopping you not to go there were also had God in them. So you have to use the Bibek Buddh, the wisdom of Gurbani. You don't just involve yourself into certain things. Kabir ji say that you should be always run away from the sakats, that people who are engrossed in maya, that they are only thinking about money and all that lust, greed, anger, attachment. You should run away from them. You should not even be standing with them. Just do fateh to them, just run away. Have a good sangat, have a good congregation, because the sakat will lead you to do the sakat things. If you will sit with the alcoholic, he will take you to the bar. Don't say that, oh, I will drink a juice or drink a glass of water in the bar. No, you can't do that. Maybe at start you will do it, but slowly you will get into that habit. So you have to watch your company. You have to watch who get. You should. That's why Gurbani says that you should always keep a sangat, or the company of the saints. You should not go in the company of non-saints. Saints meaning people who are basically living their life with good actions. Good actions. I mean, you have to choose. That Bibek Buddha has to be there. That's why the next line is Sagalyan Pao Likhya Asar Lake, that everybody's account is on their head. And everything and everybody on this universe has Pao in them. Sagalyan Pao Likhya Asar Lake, Nanak Nirpao, Nirankar Sach Ek. Only one is without fear. Only one formless Vaheguru is truth, and he has no fear. Everything else is happening in the fear of Vaheguru. And that's the end of this slok. Any questions?
I mean, Vijay, if like in family only, if someone like is into Maya, right? But we cannot go run away from there, right?
You got a technique today, right? That's why I knew that these questions will come after this Shabad. That's why the technique was given. When you are in that company somewhere, right? I mean, somebody comes to your house, right? I mean, you have to deal with them, right? Then at that point of time, just focus here
I mean,
on
so
your
okay,
posture.
I tried focusing, but then you cannot concentrate on the whatever is going
It will
on.
take time. It will take time.
Okay,
It will.
okay,
This is
because
all. This is not a one-time thing. It takes time to practice, but at least the realization is there. One win is there. Happy. You will believe it, right? Yeah, one win is there. The realization is now there that you don't have to get involved in the petty talks with people,
hmm,
right? That realization. So you control yourself. Yes, people will provoke you. People will call you names also. When they will see change in you in the life, they say, oh, Punjabi they say, oh, Baba ban gaya you, na? Right? That's the word they say, that, oh, he has become some saint or something. He's not getting involved himself or herself in these kind of talks. But no, it is practical life. You have to live it. You have to involve. Who we think that we are only like, let's say 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, whatever your age is, right? You know what? Who knows how many lives we got before this? And we failed in every life. This is the time. That's why Gurbani says, Pai Prapat Manuk Dehuriya, Gobind Milan ki e teri bariya. This is the chance you have to meet Vaheguru. Avar Kaj, Tere Kite na Kaam, Mil Saad Sangat, Paj Keval Nam. We got this body to jump the naam, and the petty things will keep on happening. People will keep on telling you do this, do that, but we have to. That's why we have to take a support of naam, right? We have to take a support of naam. Then only, mind will need a support. Mind will need support of something.
Hmm. And
Any
Vijay,
other question?
is that helpful? Like taking air from one nose and leaving from other. Will that help? Like in
No, no,
like
no. I'm not saying that taking one from other and leaving other. No, no, no. You don't do anything involuntary. When
okay,
the breath is going inside, you focus there. Breath is coming outside. It will automatically balance.
I see. Because there is one pranayam, right? So that is
Pranayam, we don't do it.
right, right.
We don't do it. That's a yoga thing.
Hmm.
Whether it is helpful or not, I don't know. Right?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna talk about anything which Gurbani doesn't recommend.
Right, right.
Gurbani doesn't recommend pranayam.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you want to do something for the physical body, as in for health reasons, I'm not gonna stop you. That's a different thing. What I am saying is, naturally, when the air is going inside and it is coming outside, but is when it is going inside, say why in your head and
Hmm.
guru, when it comes, it will bring your mind in present. The whole problem is the different problem. The problem is that either our mind is in the past or it is in the future. You have to bring your mind here, right?
But we have to think sometime, right? Like what we have to do, like for a future,
You
like
will be thinking.
uh,
See, this is the problem which we have. We will be thinking about the present things. So if you have a job in your hand, let's say if you're coding, right? You
yeah.
are coding, you need to concentrate and focus on that coding, right? You don't have
Hmm.
to think about the future. You
Correct.
have to do whatever you have to do presently, what you have to achieve at this point of time, right? So
Right,
that
right.
is going to bring us in focus. Actually, that's very helpful for the people who work to focus. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
A- Any other question?
Why, Guruji? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay. So my question was that when the mind leaves the body during nighttime, can that be considered rapid eye movement sleep or paradoxal sleep?
No, these are just the terms. I'll tell you the process from the Gurbani, right? The when mind leaves the body, what does it means? Everybody's mind has will leave. What does it mean? If you're sleeping next to somebody, you don't know who the person is. People say, oh, they love their lives. They don't. They love their wives. I mean, they don't. Why? Because they don't know who is sleeping next to them. They're just sleeping. They're leaving this body. What happens is when mind leaves the body, actually mind goes back to its home. Dasam dua. It goes there. Everybody's, even the person who doesn't meditate. This is a natural process. Mind will go there. But because we have so many thoughts in our head, mind is in the Pavsagar at that time. We get a dream and we come back and we go in the Pavsagar. Okay? Mind lose its direction where it has to go. That is what is happening.
Yeah, the reason why I asked this question is because I was just reading something and it showed that infants spend more time in this paradoxal or rapid eye movement sleep. And, we all know that babies spend 10 months in the womb and they already know how to reach to Agru. And I thought maybe that whenever the mind leaves the body, then I think REM sleep is probably just a scientific term for it. I like, you know,
Yeah, but because what is a paradox?
like paradoxal sleep, rapid eye
No, no,
movement.
no, no. What is paradox? You got it,
I
right?
was, I don't know what that term actually meant. I just know that the other term for
So, okay, open your dictionary and research about what paradox is. You will know what I'm saying. So, everything, again, I'm not debating about the process of science, right? That's fine. The thing is, when you connect, when you meditate, I'll give you an example. When you do a meditation, right? Any sort of meditation, chanting meditation, which we do, Vaheguru Simran, or some other meditation, you research on Google. Lot of meditators, after sometimes or immediately, depends from person to person, they will start hearing something in their ears. What medical science says about this, it is tinnitus. That ringing sound in your ears is a tinnitus,
Yeah, but in
right?
reality, it
Your
sounds.
mouth will start getting sweet. Some people will say, oh, maybe you have diabetes. Every spiritual experience, when you will start happening, what is happening on the other side, medical science will say something. Then my question is, why only meditators get these if it is a medical condition? And some people, because that sound is was always there. Some That sound which you hear in your ears is always, or was always there in your body. It was just that there was so much noise of your thoughts that you were not able to hear it. The moment you removed that noise, you started hearing that, right? Even in Gurbani it says, Naam na sune rol kachola. That is that he doesn't hear that Naam, doesn't hear because there is so much rola in the head. There's so much, so many things going on, so many thoughts going on in their head. Just example, on the street, in this particular street, there is a guy, his name is Mike, and he lives there, but you don't know his house, right? And you just, with a loud sound, you call him, Mike, Mike, right? And if there is no traffic on the street, he might hear it and come out. But if there is a lot of traffic, he will not hear your sound. That is what is happening. We don't hear that sound, the voice of Vaheguru, because there is so much noise in our head. The moment that traffic, that thoughts are removed, you will start hearing that sound, right? So that's why the spiritual experiences are different. And mind will leave the body and it will go to the dasam dwar in the fourth stage. Is it clear? Is it clear, Sukhman?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Anything else, guys?
Vaikuti, I have a question. So I'm new. I'm actually Justice's friend from back at our childhood days, 2 decades ago, 20 years ago. So
Tamanpreet?
anyway, this
Tamanpreet?
Hanji, yes, yes,
Welcome.
that's me.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. So I have a question for you. So this sound, right? I have been the most atheist person you would ever see until just a few years back. I was like, Babaji's nothing. I used to go Sunday to the Gurdwara for that $1 buffet they used to call it. I know it was stupid of me. I was always disrespecting, but so for the past 8 months, I have been reading Barney a lot, and I lost hearing in my one ear. And
Yeah.
I'm an avid swimmer. I swim a lot. So I was like, maybe it's just the water that's stuck in my ear. It's just not happening. I went to 3 different ENTs and they told me that I have to get surgery. In fact, just I think 3 days ago when I talked to Just that same evening, I had to go to my ENT to schedule actual ear surgery. And the sounds you are talking about, they come and go to me. And when they're like, it's either a long beep or it's like when on a steel glass, you're just when you hit the spoon and it's
Yes.
that constant ringing. And I guess I've changed in these past few months. I know I've changed a lot. If Just knew me since the get-go, and I don't know if she could tell by the way I used to talk to her, but I know I've changed. My family tells me I've changed. What to do when you hear this ringing sound? And also want to let you know, so I thought that this is probably, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, right? Because I work in IT and I'm constantly typing, and my
Yeah.
doctor's like, you maybe have carpal tunnel, or whatnot. She just gave me a list, a plethora of bamaria that I may have. Okay. And I'm like, chalo, oh well, if it's a surgery, it's going to be a surgery. But what to do when you hear these sounds? Because sometimes this sound lasts for 3 to 5 seconds and I have to shake my head away. My vision gets blurred to just come into my actual present senses. When this sound comes, and today, in fact, right before the class, about 40 or so minutes before the class, I got the sound. I was getting out of my car, and I got the sound and I actually stood still and I concentrated. And that's where I heard the long beep, but I couldn't move beyond that. Like, what are we supposed to do when we hear the sound?
First of all, this sound which you're talking about is that this sound is in everybody, right? And doesn't matter atheist or a religious person, it is in everybody. And just like we talked about just now, because we have so much traffic, we have so much noise that we don't. When you start reading Gurbani, right, and when you start chanting Vaheguru, your mind starts getting into the static state where you have less of these thoughts, which where your mind was wandering everywhere. To give you an example, when you smell something, your mind goes there. When you see something, your mind goes there. When you hear something, your mind goes there. What happens is, and you said yet one of your ear is you can't, it's you lost your hearing in there, right? uh, but you can still hear those sounds because those sounds are not coming from outside, they are coming from inside you,
Right.
right?
So
And
even when I went to the doctor, Vaiguruji, he was like, when when they do the actual ENT people, they do their test. They were telling me that I'm even hearing the sounds that normal people don't listen to when they do the test. So I'm like, what is the problem then? I
Mhm.
was losing my mind. I'm like, if it's not physical, what's going on with me? But how do we control it? Like, what do we do in the instance when we hear that sound?
Okay, couple of things, right? First of all, at this point of time, just think that this sound is not something a physical problem. Again, I am not a doctor. Do your doctor stuff, do your medicine stuff, whatever they recommend you, that's fine. But my recommendation to you is start enjoying this sound. Start hearing this sound. This sound is nothing but the voice of Vaiguruji. It is coming directly from Vaiguru, right? When you hear this sound, again, it depends when at what time of the day you are hearing it. Obviously, if you're driving and all that stuff, I will not tell you to focus on this sound because that can be fatal, because you can lose the ability to drive at that point of time, and obviously you can crash because this sound takes you to the state of vismad. If you will listen to the previous lectures, vismad is a wow state where your mind is away from all the thoughts. It is also called a state of sun or a samad, where there are no thoughts, right? So it is a beautiful state. And to give you an example, when you go to a sound sleep where there are no dreams, and when you wake up, you are all fresh, you are all energetic. This sound actually can directly takes you there. It is also called samadhi. But when you are at home, right, and if you have time, to start with, listen to the sound, and from your tongue do Vaheguru Simran. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, and start listening to this sound. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, and keep on focusing on listening to this sound. When you are driving or you are at work, I would not, if you are free, if you're sitting on your chair and if you're not driving, then yes, you can close your eyes and just concentrate on this loud sound. But slowly, when you will start getting into habit and start loving this sound, start enjoying this sound, it takes time because initially we think that there's something wrong with us. Most of us in this call, I know few here in this call, when they start hearing this, it was so loud, it took them time. Some people, it takes like couple of months, sometimes 1 year, and it becomes part of your system, and it is always there. It is at your own will. Then you close your eyes and you focus inside, and you will start hearing it. It is also called Anhad Shabad. It is also called Panj Shabad. It is also called Sajdun. There are different states. When you start hearing, you start hearing with Panj Shabad, and then it becomes one sound called Sajdun. And then from Sajdun, it becomes a Nag. This sound will actually, once you will start following this, and I'm not telling you to do that right now, but once you will start following this sound, it might lead you to the Prakash, to the light of Vaiguruji also. But at start, especially when you hear it, chant Vaheguru from your mouth and start listening. Focus on that sound. Normally, when you don't hear the sound, the technique is we listen to our own voice. Since you are hearing this sound, hear that and start chanting. Okay, that will relax you up.
Yep. Thank you.
No problems. And let me know if you experience something else, and we can talk about it. Right?
Right.
Any
Definitely.
any other question, Vaheguru? If
I have a
not,
question. I
okay,
have a
sure.
question.
Hanji Vaheguru.
I just wanted to make sure, like when we're doing the exercise that you mentioned earlier of keeping the focus by the
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah.
So when I breathe, mostly like when I do Simran, like one side, I starts to hear like a popping sound instantly, but only in one nostril. and it happens in one ear also. Like I
One
don't
ear,
hear the
right? 1 ear and one nostril. Left side or right?
mostly right side.
Mostly right side. Okay.
Hmm. So what is it like? How can I like make sure that the other side gets balanced also?
No, 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 don't worry about the balancing act or anything. Don't worry. When
Okay.
you hear that sound, and
Uh,
again the same thing for you also.
mm-hmm.
If you can do loud Simran with it, that's fine. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't, do Antargat Simran and concentrate on that sound in your ear, right? Focus on that ear where you're hearing right side, not on the nostril.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So it's like the tuck tuck sound. It's not my prawns balancing. Is this like something different? I thought it was you hear that when the prawns balance.
No, 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 no. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
You can
okay,
hear it without, even if your focus is on one side more, also you can still hear it. Sometimes you
okay,
will hear it on the left side more, sometimes on the right side more. But at the end, it will balance out in between. But that, don't worry about those things. It's Vaheguruji's
okay,
kripa, it will happen. So you
okay.
do
So
your job, right? And
okay,
do the Simran and focus on that sound from your right ear or left ear, wherever you get it.
okay. Thank you, Vijay. Thank
No
you.
problems, Vaheguruji. Anything else, Vaheguru? All right. If not, then Vaheguruji ka Khalsa.
Why?
Why is it called?
Okay,